Warning! The Stone Age Gamer podcast includes a lot of bad language. Cover your motherfucking ears.
Good evening and welcome to the Stone Age Gamer podcast. I am Kris Randazzo, and joining me tonight is explorative masterpiece, Dan Ryan.
There was no foreplay there. That was just right in, Kris.
That's what I'm all about. It's time for the April 10, 20, 30, 40, where we discuss notable game releases from 10, 20, 30, and you guessed it, 40 years ago this month. Was Mega Man Soccer the undeniable champion of 16-bit gaming this time around? I hope you like Balls, the video game, because the Stone Age Gamer podcast starts now. Hi everyone, this is episode 511. It's the week of April 26, 2024, and this is the official podcast of StoneAgeGamer.com. In case you're new here, Dan and I talk every week about what's happening in the world of video games for a retro gamer's perspective, as well as whatever the heck else is going on in our lives. Also, if you're new around here, thanks for tuning in. We hope you have a good time. If not, why are you still here? We love you and appreciate you, but...
Yeah, no, sure.
Anyway, how you doing?
Oh, man, it has been just a debacle this week, Kris.
A debacle, huh?
A debacle. A debacles. A debacles. Last Sunday, the pilot light on my water heater went out.
Oh, right, the water heater story. Yeah, I'm excited about this.
My kid was taking a shower, and she calls down and she's like, "Why is it fucking cold?" And I was like, first of all, language. Second of all, I don't know, man. It probably because the pilot light went out. Because the pilot light is in my laundry room. And my laundry room, well, the pilot light is in the water heater. The water heater is in the laundry room. It's weird. We have the pilot light completely separate from the water heater. We just have this tiny little flame.
Water heater is in the basement. Pilot light, attic.
You know, because that's the way they built houses in the 50s. Oh, it was wacky. The water heater is in the laundry room. And the laundry room is the door that the dogs go out to the backyard, right? Because I have a split level house, so downstairs is a little laundry room. The door to the backyard is through the laundry room. So the dogs are like, and they're all, again, for those of you who are new here, I have a lot of dogs, and the smallest one is about 50 pounds, and you know these 100-pound monsters just. They're such boys about it. Like, they have to be the first one out. Like, they are jumping over. And it's a laundry room. I'm not rich. I don't have it like that. It's not a big laundry room. It's a tiny little laundry room in a house built in the 50s. And the dogs are just jumping over each other. And fuck, I gotta be the first one out of the door. So they constantly bang into the water heater. They've, knock the pilot light out is my assumption. I don't know what I'm talking about, but that's my assumption. So I was like, oh, the dog's probably just knocked it out. Whatever. So go down, try to light it. Fuck. Can't get it lit. All right. Let me do some Googling. Let me try to figure out what's going on here. My water heater, spoilers, was, past tense, about 9 years old. I was like, all right, well, this is around the time when they start to fail, but the internet seems to think that one of the things you should do is change the thermocouple on there. It's a little piece that's down inside. You got to turn everything off, disconnect it, pull this little piece out. You change the thermocouple, and you're good to go. That usually fixes it. So, okay, cool. So on Monday, I go to the store, and pick up a new thermocouple for the make and model water heater that I have. Except when I get it home, it is not the right piece. It is, I got a push-fit thermocouple instead of a screw-in thermocouple. Because there is no God, I guess, is the reason why. So I was like, all right, well, fuck. It's Monday. That didn't work. Like, this was the only type they had at the store. It wasn't like I went, that one, and took a guess. Like, I bought the one that they had that matched the model that I have.
Did you reverse the polarity to the neutron flow?
Obviously. that also didn't work. So I was like, well, son of a bitch. Off to Amazon. Like, I tried to buy it at a local hardware shop. Like, I didn't go to Home Depot. They didn't have it anyway. Or Lowe's. Like, I tried to go to a local hardware shop, but they don't have the shit that I need. So, all right, off to Amazon. So I ordered I was like, fuck it. The thermocouple by itself is like $20, and the whole schmagegi, all of the different bits, is like $28. I'll just replace the whole damn thing, right? No problem. So I take now it's Tuesday, because I overnighted this thing, because I'm like, fuck, I need to take a shower. It's getting gross in here. Change the whole thing out, take everything apart, screw it back in, everything's working good, it's all connected. Go to click it on. Pilot light will now come on, which was a step in the right direction, but won't stay lit. All right, fuck. I guess I have to call some real men now. Like, I tried to do it. Now I have to call a professional who, like, actually knows what the fuck he's talking about. So I had to take a day off of work, and they were like, yeah, we'll be out there between 10 and 2. Okay, cool. I talking to the lady in the morning. I'm like, is it possible that at 2 o'clock when dude gets here, because I know you said between 10 and 2, but, like, let's be honest with each other. It's going to be 2. Is it possible? Yeah, if I'm lucky, it's going to be 2. Is it possible that I will get a new water heater? If he can't fix it, will I get a new water heater today? And she was like, I don't want to promise, but it's a pretty good chance. It's like, all right. Well, I'm glad she didn't promise, because I waited all day. He got here at 2 o'clock. He left my house at like 2:07. Like, he was legit here for like 7 minutes, and he came down and he was like, yeah, that doesn't work. Like, no, thanks. That's good. I appreciate it. He was like, what you actually need is a new, like, the electronic control box that's on the outside of it. And he was like, so we do one of two things. We can, order it, and we're going to have to special order it because they don't make tanks the size and shape that you have any longer. So we have to special order the outside box piece, and that'll take like another 3 to 4 days. And that's going to be like, I don't know, $1,100 or whatever. And you'll probably get a year or 2 out of this thing, because it's already 9-10 years old, right? Or I can come back tomorrow, and for $1,900, we can put in a brand new water heater. That'll last you for not nearly as long as a $2,000 purchase should, but that's what we can do. So that's what we ended up doing. So now I have a shorter, fatter water heater that takes up more space in my already tiny laundry room, but they don't make the size and shape that I had. It's like, well, awesome. Tankless was not an option. It was a frustrating week, Chris, of like legit hooker baths of I am going to boil water and put it in a bowl and then go up into my bathtub and basically Kenny Marino it to get myself clean. And that's been my week. Super fun.
But at least you have a bidet.
Yeah, well, but I mean, that's cold water. And it's always cold water, but like it was just insulting. And I tried to take a cold shower. And like when I lived in Texas, I used to take cold showers all the time because it's fucking hotter than Satan's asshole in Texas.
And when it's 900,000 degrees outside, a cold shower's not so bad. At least not at first.
Yeah, no. When it's 110 in the shade, like it's just, I can get in there for 5 minutes and be like, oh, fucking sweet relief in this bullshit state. No offense to our listeners in Texas. You know who you are. Love you. But like, yeah, here in New Jersey, it was like, oh, good. It's 55 degrees outside today. So the water is nice and chilly.
Yeah, the weather's been bullshit for the last 2 days. I have not enjoyed going out walking the dog for the last 2 days.
It's been like Seattle.
Because I refuse to wear pants. Right? I'm done with
all
pants.
the time. Yeah.
It is short season hundo P. And I refuse to go back. So I'm like walking the kids to school this morning and I'm freezing from the knees down, but you know what? Comfortable.
You gotta rock like the NBA players do. You gotta get the tights to wear under your shorts.
No.
Like the athletic tights.
Nope.
That's a good look. That might be a good look for you.
Style doesn't factor in. Style's not a factor. It just all comes down to pure lazy comfort, and I don't like tight clothing at all.
That's
fair.
a
big fat nope.
That's fair.
So
on the positive side, though, I did hear one of the funniest jokes I think that I have ever heard in my entire life, Kris, this week, and I would like to share it with you if you're okay with that.
By all means, hit me with your best shot, as Pat Benatar would say. Was that Pat Benatar?
Yeah, I think. So, what is another term for coming inside of a lady?
I don't know what.
Loading the dishwasher.
Oh my god.
That's so fucking funny.
Wow.
Oh god. I don't know if that's going to make it into the show, but god damn it. I do the
majority of the dishwashing in this house.
I know. It's a joke based on old sexist tropes. Like, I get it. It's just really fucking funny.
Loading the dishwasher. You're a bad person and you should feel bad.
Oh, man. It fucking cracked me up, dude. It's like, oh, that's legit one of the best jokes I've ever heard. That's so fucking funny. It's like, I gotta go tell people that I work with. I gotta tell my wife. Tell everybody.
Tell my kids. Tell their friends.
Oh, no. Pick them up from school. Guys, come here. Everybody gather around. Just joke time. Oh,
their
man.
teachers. It'll be great.
That's how I opened up the parent-teacher conference. Like, I know we're here to talk about serious business, but before we begin, what is another term for coming inside of a lady? Oh, goodness. Yeah. How about you? How you doing?
I'm okay.
You got any horrific homeowner news or really funny jokes this week?
No. Just the only funny joke is me. I'm waking up at the ass crack of dawn for record store day tomorrow. My local record shop. There's one record that I want. I want
what is it?
Dosage from Collective Soul. It's one of my favorite
albums. Oh, yeah. Sure.
My local record store got one.
Oh.
There's
and they won't hold
copy.
It for you, right?
No, God, no. No holds at all. It's just
that's
first come, first
dumb.
serve. The mall opens its doors at 6 a.m. The record store doesn't open till 9.
So you're going to get there at 5, right?
Thinking 5:30, and hopefully, basically, if there's anybody else there before me, there's not going to be that many more people there before me. And if any of them are planning on getting the record, then I leave. Like, I can just ask them, "Hey, are you here for this? Because if you are, then sorry, then have a great day. I'm out of here, and I'll just hope that I can find it some other way."
Good
I'm
God,
sure there's somebody else who'll
one copy.
One copy of it.
That's wild. I'm looking through the list right now, and this did not seem like a big, an impressive record store day. Yeah, there I go. I see it. Dosage. Wow, they only made 2,000 of them for everybody. So
I guess that must be why. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a different flavor of it somewhere that I could get, like if I miss out on it. But
There's a live Death Cab for Cutie that I would imagine people would show up for. Doctor Who, The Edge of Destruction. There's a lot of live shit this time around.
Yeah. I didn't see anything else in there that I was like, yeah, you know what? I got to have that. There's just not a single other thing. Although the only other thing that's theoretically releasing tomorrow that I would like to have is Atari 50, but not for $45 fucking dollars, and my store's not even getting it. Because it's not part of Record Store Day. It just happens to be releasing tomorrow.
Right.
And
I don't know, Foxy Brown. You might want to pick up Foxy Brown while you're there. You not a big Foxy Brown guy? No, okay.
Can't say as I am.
What is the Atari? It's the Atari 50 vinyl, like just shit from all the different games and whatnot.
It's the soundtrack to the Atari 50 game, the one from Digital Eclipse. And like,
well, that's
I'd like
cool.
it. I'd like it. Really,
sure.
The menu music by Bob Baffy is like fucking outstanding. I love that tune. I would love to have that on record. And it's a gold record. It looks really cool. But it's $45. It's $45. That is too much for a record. It's a single record. It's not a double album or anything like that. It's a single record with not a ton of music on it. And it's $45.
Yeah, it's a lot. I don't know. I'm still looking through the list. I might have to I remembered the one that I pulled out the last time we looked at this list. I might have to try. I shouldn't try, but I might have to try go pick up G Love and special sauce.
Right.
That's pretty great.
I like G Love.
I love G Love.
Not enough to buy an album of though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't ever want to get to the point where I'm buying vinyl just for the sake of it. Like, I'm buying something
for sure.
If I'm buying vinyls, as the kids would say.
Vinyls. I'm buying the vinyls. I don't know why that got Arnold there for a second. I'm not sure. I'm very tired. I spent a large portion of my youth sitting around with my friend Billy out in his barn, and we would just listen to fucking tapes. Like, that's when we started hanging out. Like, we would listen to tapes and we would listen to, CDs and whatever. And I remember his older brother Danny came back with the G Love and special sauce. I can't fucking say that tonight, apparently. With the G Love tape, and we just sat out in the barn and just listened to it over and over again. And like, that was such a big part of like one particular section of my youth. And like, I don't know, we would always fucking talk about G Love. So like, for me, I get why not everybody would run out for the G Love record, but
it's good stuff.
Baby's got sauce. Baby ain't sweet like mine. It is good shit. If you've never listened to G Love and the special sauce, you should give it a shot.
Hey, you did it. Attaboy.
I did. It's all right. I had to pause, though. I had to slow down so I didn't get all fucking mush-mouthed.
Ah, goodness gracious. Yeah, I don't think there's really anything else of interest going on in my world this week.
5 o'clock in the morning for Collective Soul is... That's big.
It's a choice. It's certainly a choice. That album right there is one of those like youth defining albums for me. Like, that was one of my favorites in high school. It was just, I've been waiting for them to reissue this album for quite a while now. And I missed their second album. I didn't miss it. I kind of sort of missed it on purpose. Their self-titled album, the blue one.
I wouldn't say we've been missing it.
I really like that album, except the last song. I don't like the last song of that album at all. And if there's a single song on a record that I don't like, I tend to not get it because it's not like you can skip tracks. Now, granted, it's the last track. I could just stop listening to it beforehand, but it was one of those things I looked at. I was like, well, I don't like every song on this, so I probably shouldn't buy it, because that's kind of one of my rules for buying records. Like, if I don't, I'm going to buy something digitally or whatever.
Like full price, brand new, like
exactly
special shit. Like if you're picking something up, like where I get most of my records, the fucking Goodwill. You know, it's like, I like 2 or 3 songs on here. That's worth $1.
Exactly.
You know,
if you're paying fine. Like $2 or $3 for something, but if I'm spending like, $20, $30 on it, I'm going to make sure it's something that I really want to have, like top to bottom. And now I kind of regret not picking it up, because now I have their first and third albums and I'm just missing the second one. It's like making me itch, but
now I gotta have it.
But now it's only available in the secondhand market, which the secondhand vinyl market is fucking absurd.
Absurd. Yeah.
Like I missed Motorcade of Generosity by Cake. I friggin' love that album. And that one I legitimately missed. I didn't realize they were re-releasing their albums. So I wound up picking up... did I pick up Fashion Nugget? I can't remember if I picked up Fashion Nugget, but I definitely picked up Motorcade of Generosity. No, that was the first one. What's the third one? Why am I drawing a blank on this? The one with the pig on it. Prolonging the Magic. There it is.
There you go.
I picked up Prolonging the Magic, but I really love Motorcade of Generosity, and I'm so sad that I didn't get it. And it's like, it immediately, the moment it wasn't readily available, is our like, cool, $450. Hey, fuck you.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking secondhand market.
Absurd.
The resellers market on records is just as bad, if not worse, as the fucking retro game scene. It's absurd.
It really is. It's not fun. Podcast for another podcast, but
yeah,
fuck resellers.
Bunch of vampires.
Yeah.
You play any Vigi games this week? Water Heater Replacement Simulator 2024?
Yes. 10 out of 10, no notes. Great game. No, mostly just a lot of the show for when I was actually able to use my PlayStation this week, because the children within the last week they have both finished Inscription 2 times each. Like they've played through it 2 separate times, and it's like, all right guys, like I really like this game, but I would like this to not be on the television for a little bit, if you don't mind. I would like to use the PlayStation, and like, I'm a fucking enabler, Chris. That's my problem. Of like,
is that
my daughter,
singular?
Yes. My children
have the one.
Have each of them has a PlayStation in their room. Okay. Penn has the PS4.
1? Okay.
No. Penn has the PS4 Pro. Katie has the PS4. Okay. Katie also and Penny also have access to the PlayStation through their computers. You know, the share play or whatever the fuck it's called that you can do on your PC. We also have, I'm currently in my office right now with 2 televisions that are not hooked up to anything. I might use one as a second monitor at some point. Penn has a TV in her room that is currently not plugged in because she rearranged her furniture, and they could be playing Inscription and whatever fuck else they wanted to play in their bedrooms like normal children, away from their parents on their own fucking televisions, but they just won't do it. And I have sat there and gone, okay, well, I like the game, so I'll sit here and watch it with you, instead of like making them get in their room and fucking hook their shit up. Because I'm a bad parent, Chris. I think is what it comes down to.
I think they would disagree.
They would disagree?
I think they would disagree.
Yeah, that's probably true. But, yeah, it's been a lot of Inscription. And, fuck, man, I really want you to play that game. It's really fucking good. It's a really, really good game.
I have no doubt that it is. I just don't see it happening.
I kept looking, too.
One, right?
Yeah, I kept looking too because like trying to find it physically, and man, price for that game is just absurd. It's just, couple $100 no matter what platform you're getting it on. It's like, fuck, man, let's reprint that shit. Especially, like, I suppose I get the limited run stuff for, like, the Switch, because it's a cartridge, and there's, like, some manufacturing involved in that. But, like, just fucking burn it to a disc, man. This isn't hard. I should be able to have this on my PlayStation. Just burn it, print out a fucking... I don't need a book. Just print out a cover, send it to me. It'd be fucking great. I'll give you $50 for it. Like, I don't know why that's so hard.
Well, that's what she said.
No, she knows. It's her fault. No, you know what I mean, though? Like, we've talked about it before, but that seems to be a thing that I think would, I'm sure there's, like, rights and whatnot involved that we are not privy to, but it really does seem to be a pretty easy solution for a lot of this stuff, and to get a lot of the bullshit out of, collecting games and whatnot in this resellers market that's just disgusting and predatory and like artificially. Because I think ultimately, like, what drives me crazy about it is that it artificially inflates the value of games that aren't as good as other games, where we're no longer paying for quality, we're paying for scarcity. And I don't find that to be an ideal place for collecting to be in, really, of any product.
Yeah, it's a weird
solely
situation.
Based on quantity it's just not the best idea.
Nah, it's not. And, like, I understand, like, they can't... Limited Run has continued to get bigger over the years, for sure. But they can't keep everything in print, and if they're going to get new... Like, they only have so many... There's only so many games they can make. And,
sure,
their whole thing is they do open pre-orders now, right? It's like, they shout from the rooftops, you have this much time... Everybody,
which is great.
However many we could possibly need, as long as you know about it in this window of time, then this is how many we're going to make. And once they're gone, once this time is done, that's how many we're going to produce, and then that's the end of it. And I think it's the fairest way to do it right now, until, not until, like, barring the ability to just keep things in print, because, I'm sure a percentage of what they sell is, because of the scarcity of it. There's always going to be those people who are like, I got to get this or I'll never get it again. But they're also, if they kept certain things in print in perpetuity, or at least went back and reprinted older things from time to time, I'm sure they'd sell. But I also think that they probably look at it like, well, we only have we only have this much access to the factory, right? Before somebody else needs to do it. So during this time, we need to move on to new projects instead of reprinting old ones, because that's what, keeps them relevant or whatever. I do wish they would go back and do some reprints, though. That would be pretty swell. But again, then that probably involves, like you said, a whole bunch of rights issues. Like, well, now we've got to go. It's not like they can just click a button and be like, well, now we're reprinting The Messenger. Like, they got to clear that with fucking Sabotage and whoever else is involved. And
like, some of the stuff is pretty fair. You know what I mean? Like, there's some stuff I'm looking on,
but it is now.
I'm looking on eBay right now, and on April 19th, so today, a sealed copy of the Castlevania Anniversary Collection on Switch sold for $44. That's not crazy.
That's a different story, though, because that wasn't just available at Limited Run.
I know.
That's not one of their numbered releases. That's one of their... Because they have their numbered releases that only get the one printing, and then they have the other releases that are like, this is also going to be available widely at retail, like Amazon and Best Buy, in addition to being able to get it through Limited Run. And Castlevania Collection is one of those.
Yeah, no, I know that. Knights of the Old Republic, for Switch, which I know that game's broken, but $60. That's not a crazy price for that. Like for something that is not actively in print. You know, like there's a lot of shit on here insane. that is fair. But then if you look for some of the games, you know, like if I go back and look for Inscription on here, I think the last one sold on Switch. I don't want to give false information. Let's see. The last one on PlayStation 5, a new sealed copy on April 4th sold for $143 with $13 shipping from the United Kingdom. Another one sold on April 3rd on PlayStation 5 for $170, which is like, fuck, man. If it was like $50-$60, I'd buy it, you know?
The Messenger on Switch on April 10th sold on eBay. So buy it now. For just the loose cartridge, $123.99.
That's nuts, man.
Just the loose cartridge.
That's nuts.
123. It's $194.99 was the last one that sold complete. It's like, what the hell, man? First off,
it's just
who's spending that money? Like,
yeah. Oh, here it is.
That money.
April 17th. Inscription. Special Reserve Games. Nintendo Switch. $340.
Worth a pudding.
It's a lot of fucking pudding, Chris.
And then, back to the records. I have been hoping to find the Sayonara Wild Hearts soundtrack on vinyl for a very long time.
Yeah.
It almost never pops up. One just showed up yesterday. It is currently listed for a buy it now price of $229.09 plus $60 shipping from Belgium.
Jesus Christ. Weird.
Like, come on, man. What the shit? What's the Box Boy amiibo up to these days? That's another one. That's been on my list forever. The Box Boy amiibo. I've always wanted that thing. Yeah. Oh, look, here's one for $438.90 for an amiibo. What?
Nope.
Oh. No.
Fucking terrible. Absolutely terrible.
And there's like 50 of these things on eBay. There's no shortage of them. It's not like they're rare. They're all over the place. I'm looking at least 30 to 40 listings of this goddamn amiibo, and everyone wants at least $400 for it. You clowns. $508.
You absolute clowns.
At least that one comes with the fucking game.
Yeah, well, that
$508. Come on. That is nuts.
Be nice to have fuck you money like that.
Seriously.
Tell you what.
I know it's a lot of money, but I can drop $710 plus 18 shipping on the fucking amiibo.
Go fuck yourself.
How dare you? The gall. The unmitigated gall.
Yeah. Collectors. Bunch of nerds.
Yeah, seriously.
Anyway, so that's like...
Anyways.
That's been most of what has been played in my house. Dave the Diver did get added to the PlayStation Plus, so I'm going to dive into that.
Oh, boy.
I should have started
that this week. That's what I should have done.
This weekend. I'm excited. I definitely want to, I've wanted to check that out for quite a while.
Yeah, I've been meaning to, play that, but I've just been kind of in a weird holding pattern after I finished this last set of reviews.
Yeah.
And now I'm just like eagerly awaiting, I think it's Tuesday actually, Dadish 3D. I finished Dadish 3, so I rebeat the first three games, except I didn't refinish all of Dadish 3. the last world is kind of bullshit. The last world is all water levels, and some of them are cool, but some of them are like, okay, this is just frustrating. I don't need this shit in my life.
I'm just not doing this. It's not happening.
There's like two stars in the game that I know how to get. I'm just not fucking doing it.
No, that's fair.
Okay, so I have to play the entire level, which is not one of those like just go as fast as you can and you can just like speed run it. Basically, it's a level where you have to wait. You have to like wait on a slow moving platform. So there's no way to do the level quickly, right? So I got to go through the whole level, and at the very, very end of the level, you have one opportunity to make a pixel perfect double jump to get the star. And if you don't, then you have the whole level over again. And it's like, cool. I'm not doing that. I'm just not doing it. I tried it like 4 times. That is my limit. I've already beaten this game. I got nothing to prove. I'm out.
That's right.
But in sticking with the, there's a whole indie game sale going on the Switch right now. And I was looking on the eShop throughout my wish list, and I saw that Turnip Boy Robs a Bank was on sale for a somewhat decent price. I was like, I never did play Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. I wonder how much that's on sale for. So I'm like going through my wish list, and I can't find it anymore. I'm like, why the hell isn't this game on my wish list anymore? So I go to the shop and I search it up, and I fucking own it. I don't even remember buying it.
Good reason that's for it not to be on there.
That's why it's not on my wish list. It's on my Switch. So I started playing Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion, and I get it. I get why the reviews weren't great for the game, and I don't fucking care because it's hysterical. Like, the game mechanics are just not great. It doesn't feel wonderful to play, but holy shit, it's so ridiculous. I didn't realize that the character of Turnip Boy does not speak. Everyone talks to him, and his responses are always just like a blank, psychotic smile. Like, I never noticed, like, you're filthy. You're just like this weird vagrant that rips up paperwork.
Well, you're a turnip.
Yeah, but like all the other vegetables you talk to are not filthy. You just look like you're strung out. You're just like got this dead-eyed smile on your face, and the mayor basically like the mayor's like, look, you committed a shitload of tax fraud. I need you to be my enforcer to work off your because the mayor's crooked as shit too. So like you go work for the mayor as his enforcer, and you just like go fucking people up, doing terrible things to people. It's like, this is such a weird game.
That's how this works. Yeah, no, that's how life works, Chris. Have you ever committed tax evasion?
I have not intentionally.
All right, well, it's very accurate to what happens, I would say.
So I'm looking forward to playing more of that. It's gameplay not spectacular, but it's adorable and it's hysterical and it's really fucked up. So yay, Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. I also played the Anton Blast demo, which was fucking great.
Oh,
you tried that yet?
The kids were playing that too. Yeah, they fucking loved it.
Yeah, I mean, I knew I was going to love this game from the get-go. It doesn't play as much like Wario Land as I thought it would. Like the early, we've watched this game go through its development for a couple of years now, and it looked really Wario Land at first, and then they kind of changed some things around, and it's much faster than a Wario game now, which is really cool.
Yeah.
It's a very bombastic game. There's just a lot of things happening. It's very flashy. I really like
very similar to Pizza Tower.
So I've heard.
Very similar to Pizza Tower. The speed and like chaotic nature of what's going on. There's a much more deliberate pace to like a Wario game.
Yes, yeah. I still know almost nothing about Pizza Tower, although I did find out that apparently the person who made Pizza Tower is kind of a piece of shit.
Is he? No.
There was some talk in our thread about like, wow, we really thought that Pizza Tower was going to, like, why isn't Pizza Tower coming out on Switch? And then someone was like, well, I looked it up, and it seems that the guy who made the game is kind of problematic, so maybe that's what's stopping it from going places. I don't know. But I don't know much about it. All I know is the Anton Blast demo is everything that I thought it was going to be. I think that game looks spectacular. I'm really looking forward to getting it in freaking November.
Yeah.
What?
It's a while.
That's a long way out. Like, it's April. What are you doing promoting a November game and releasing a demo now?
What do they know that we don't know? What's coming out in between, Chris? What could it be?
It's a good question. That's a solid question.
You know what it's not? It's not fucking Silk Song. I'll tell you that much for free.
That's just it, Dan. We don't know. It could be tomorrow.
No, I am relatively sure that none of us have actually ever seen anything for Silk Song. This is just one gigantic Mandela effect, is what's happening.
I can look up the Silk Song trailer right now.
No, but that doesn't mean it was released by Nintendo. I can look up a lot of shit online, Chris, that's not actually true.
There it is.
I don't think it's
5
real.
years ago on Nintendo of America's YouTube channel. Silk Song announcement trailer.
No.
5 fucking years ago.
I refuse to believe it.
1 year ago was the when was this Xbox one where like this was 1 year ago. What's the date? June 12th, 2022. Wow. June 12th, 2022, there was a new trailer for Silk Song. That's almost 2 years ago now.
Is there any way that that game can live up to the hype?
I mean, I think so. Because they haven't. It's not like it's promising anything that it'll be difficult to deliver. It's like, we're going to give you more Hollow Knight. Enjoy. And then they're going to give us more Hollow Knight, and we're going to enjoy it. And that's really all there is to it.
Yeah, I mean, it really does seem that simple, huh?
Yeah. I mean, who knows what it's actually going to be. They're up to something.
It's so bad. Why do I not have it yet, Chris?
You know what? I wish someone would answer that question. Just tell us why. Give us something. Throw us a bone. Toss a little biscuit our way. Come on.
Something.
Please.
We're working on it.
Say,
still.
We're doing
we promise.
Things happen.
We promise that.
Come on.
And like, that's the crazy thing to me. Like, going back to what we were just talking about, I could go on Best Buy right now. And I know this wasn't like a limited run games or whatever, but you can get Hollow Knight for $35 right now. That is one of the best fucking games on whatever system it's on, and that shit's only $35. Collecting is weird.
Really is.
Anyway.
It all has to do with ready availability.
I might fucking buy that for $35.
I've considered it.
Like, just to... I don't think I want to play it on Switch, though. Like, if I play through it again. I don't know. Well, I suppose, like, with a Pro Controller, it's fine.
Yeah, fine. I like it.
Anyway.
Game runs great, so.
Such a good fucking game. Fucking love that game so much. Anyway.
I had a weird interaction with somebody on our social media pages about the I wrote a review for Cash Cow DX, which I really liked. And it was one of those things where somebody said something that I just fundamentally disagreed with. It was saying that he said that if you like, it was a C+ game, if you like endless runners, this one's for you. If you're if you're into that sort of thing. I'm like, but
if you like shit, this is for you.
And to which I said, but this isn't an endless runner. Are you sure we're talking about the same thing? Because it's like it's not. It's just not an endless runner. There's nothing endless runner about this game. And he eventually responded like a day and a half later, like, no, the game constantly encourages you to move, so it's basically the same thing. And I'm like,
nope.
I don't think that's true. And I don't think he was necessarily being rude about it, because, he eventually responded that he thought a C+ was pretty good. I'm like, okay, that is what it is. But
it's objectively not, but all right. That's fine.
I just don't, I didn't understand the argument in the first place of like, so here's a game where you have full control over your character. And in my experience, just blasting forward is always a bad idea. Like, you gotta pay attention to your surroundings a lot. Like, playing this in no way resembles playing something like Runner 2. It just doesn't. Like, you are in full control of your character, and therefore you have the opportunity and the option to stop and wait for a pattern to play out and then make your moves. Like,
yeah.
I just thought it was a really weird interaction, and that whoever I was talking to decided to double down on the assertion that it was like an endless runner. And it was really strange. And again, he ended on a positive note. Like, you know, there should be more games like this. You know, I applaud them for making it. Like, they all ended on a positive note. And I love it when things end like that. It's just like, yeah, everything leading up to that was so odd to me. Like, I don't understand how that connection was made in the first place. Like, I never in a bajillion years would have thought that anyone would consider this in any way like an endless runner. Like, that's like comparing Sonic the Hedgehog to an endless runner, and it's really not. It's about being careful, you know,
you run,
and managing your
certainly.
momentum. You do run, and the game kind of encourages you to run, but I think that's part of the strategy that you know, it's like the Sonic games. The level design encourages you to just go super fast, but if you do, you're going to miss everything. Like, you have to be the one to strike that balance between when are you going to go for it and when are you not. And yeah, that's not an endless runner. But
no.
Anyways, I think the coolest thing I did this week was we started watching Fallout.
Is it any good?
I mean, look, I have never touched a Fallout game in my life, but we both thought the first episode was great.
All right.
Yeah, it was really cool, really interesting. I like what was set up. I don't know how many of these characters are from the game. I don't really need to know, because I'm not going to play the games. And I've had all this opportunity to play the games.
Yeah.
I've never looked at the games and said, yeah, I want to try that. I think they look neat and all, but they definitely are not for me. But this show is. I love me some Walt Goggins. He was fantastic in it. I like that. With the girl who's playing the main character, she was good. Yeah, everyone was good. It was a good show. I liked it. I can't wait to see more of it.
I would definitely, I definitely want to see it. But the kids want to watch it as well. Katie really likes the Fallout world. She's not like, she plays the game a little bit, but she's much more into like a lot of kids, which is just a weird thing about this generation of children. They're more into the lore and watching things about the game than actually playing the game. Like, Katie's super duper into that. Penn is like, yeah, it's cool. Like, I'll watch it. It looks fun. So we're going to sit down probably this weekend and what? Did all of the episodes come out or just the first one?
Yeah, they dropped the whole thing.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll probably make like a couple days out of it at least. Because Katie she didn't say she was upset, but I think she might have been a little upset because she didn't really care all that much to watch the Monarch show. But that was something like Penn came down and we watched the episode of Monarch, and then we went on YouTube and watched like the screen crush from Monarch, and it was like just a whole thing that we did, you know. And she was like, we were like, Katie, you can come watch it with us. She was like, no, I don't really care. I was like, you don't have to fucking care, just be part of your family, jerk. But this one she's like really excited about, so it's like, all right, we can do that as a family.
Cool. Yeah, it's definitely a family show. There's a lot of raping and murdering.
Yeah, well, I mean, friendly. Hey. Yeah, that's cool. Love rape and murder.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Really enjoyed it. I thought it was really cool. Looking forward to watching more. And speaking of watching things, finally watched Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh, it's so good.
It was really good. I forgot that it was only like the first part of it, though.
Yeah.
I forgot that it was a to be continued. We got to the end, and Karen was like, "What the fuck?" Because it was her movie pick tonight.
Yeah. Did you know that the dudes who did the Spider-Verse movies, their first pitch was to DC to do Batman Beyond, basically in the style that they did the Spider-Verse movies? And DC was like, nah, we're good. It's like, all right, man, that is a choice that you made. Could you imagine how fucking dope a Batman Beyond in that style would be?
That would have been awesome.
That would have been like the fucking coolest thing ever. The Spider-Verse movies are great, but just imagining Batman Beyond, like just ink in that universe, like, oh god, I fucking want it so bad. Maybe they'll go back. Maybe they'll let him do it now. See you, dicks. It was a good idea. We told you.
Yeah, I didn't even think. Once you said ink, I was like thinking of like, yeah, right, that would be pretty cool. I think I feel like I'd like a Batman Beyond movie that looked more like the show. And then you mentioned ink, and I was like, oh shit, like ink and Blight.
Yeah,
especially like Blight kind of looked like that in the intro to the show, right? When they did the close up of the skull, it was like, oh, hey, you sold me on it.
I want it so bad. I want it to happen. It's not gonna.
No, probably not. We'll see. We might get a half decent DC movie sometime in the next millennium.
I don't think so. I just don't think it's possible. I want it to be.
We'll see what James Gunn in his new direction can do for the brand.
I want it to be. I do. I want it to be good. I like the fucking Flash movie in spite of itself. Like, I really honestly didn't hate that movie. I wanted to hate that movie. I did not. Did you ever get around to watching that?
Fuck no. I'm not going to waste my time with that shit.
Okay. It was pretty good.
Even if it is decent at best, which you are one of the very few people whose opinions I trust has said anything positive about that movie. There's just
I think you got
like, I only have so much time
it with the right
life.
Expectations. Yeah.
But
I get that.
Are there not better things I could be doing with my time than watching this stupid fucking movie? I mean, like how the Netflix icon for it is Batman.
Yeah. Yeah, just to be fair, you watch a lot of stupid fucking movies, and I think this was a pretty good one. Like, there was some fun to be had in this stupid fucking movie.
Do I watch a lot of stupid fucking movies?
Yeah. You watch bad movies on purpose.
When?
I don't know. You do it, though.
I do.
Talk about it. You've watched a heck of a lot of Mystery Science Theater 3000 and that sort of shit.
Well,
that counts.
MST3K, I haven't watched that show regularly in a very, very long time, and every now and then I'll watch an episode, but that's usually in the background, not anything I'm paying attention to.
I don't know.
Any other bad movies are in service of a specific podcast.
I was going to say, you watched The Lawnmower Man for your podcast, which is perhaps the greatest movie ever made.
If we get to F and somebody suggests Flash and it wins, then we will watch it. But this time we watched FX2 with a robotic fucking clown.
This is what I'm saying. Like, you watched FX2.
I think it was probably a better movie than
it was
The Flash.
I have seen both of those, and I can tell you that one of them was better, and it ain't fucking FX2.
Did The Flash have Brian Dennehy?
It might have. I don't know. He runs very quick. He could have been there in the background. Like, oh, fuck, it was Brian Dennehy. Like, he just ran right by him. Or he might be dead. See, I'm not sure.
I think you're coming up with excuses. I don't think The Flash had Brian Dennehy, and I think you've lost this argument, sir.
I mean, that's not a bad argument.
Match.
I don't know that it's a good argument, but it's not a bad argument. Oh, goodness gracious. FX2. Stop it.
Yeah, that wasn't a great movie. It wasn't as bad as I expected. That was just it. Like, I expected it to be fucking awful, and it was not. It was just kind of bad. Like there was some actual entertainment to be had in that movie. Like I really expected it to be a complete shit show, and it just wasn't.
Yeah,
insane. Yeah. Anyways, so that's we're gonna take ourselves a quick break. When we come back, I said break. I kind of messed up that word there. We're gonna take ourselves a quick reprieve. When we come back, we're going to talk about what's new at Stone Age Gamer. We're going to do week-old news, and then do the rest of the show. So you are listening to the Stone Age Gamer podcast from Geekade.com. Stick around.
And now, here's a quick look at some of the other original content available now from our partners and Geekade.com.
First up, on an all-new SNES podcast, Greg and Joe. Is that supposed to say Joe?
Nope, it's supposed to be Joe, yeah. Look, the W key is next to the E key, all right?
It's been a while since we've recorded commercials. Maybe Joe is going through some things.
It's been almost a year. You can see the last one written right underneath it, 4/28/23. Yeah,
I do. First up, on an all-new SNES podcast, Greg and Joe were joined by some jerk named Kris, who sounds an awful lot like that jerk Kris I do a podcast with every week. The game they had to discuss this time around was the often overlooked Super NES sequel, Super Adventure Island 2. What secret parallels does it have with Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link? How deep down the rabbit hole of Wonder Boy mythology does one have to travel to understand this game's inner workings? Is it worth playing today? Find out in the SNES podcast, episode 231, Super Adventure Island 2.
It was me. I was the jerk. Anyway, next. This time in the theater
spoilers!
near you. I know. I gave it all away. Next, this time in a theater near you, it was time for the letter G. And wouldn't you know it, a new Ghostbusters movie is in theaters right now. Last time Paul, me, and Sean made it into the letter G, the last Ghostbusters movie was in theaters. A coincidence like this left us with no choice, so we all gathered together to see the latest Paul Rudd vehicle together. Did Frozen Empire leave us cold? How many different kinds of M&Ms did Paul buy to sneak into the theater at Five Below? Can anyone resist the allure of $7 Tuesdays? All this and more will be discussed in a theater near you, episode 39, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. I liked it.
I thought it was great.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Like, just a legitimately solid, good movie. I liked it a whole lot. And can see the franchise potential. Like, just keep making them. That's fine.
I had a couple of issues. There were a couple of concerning bits, like...
Oh, yeah,
maybe a few too many characters. There's a couple of people there. They're just like, okay, but why are you here? Like,
the third act of that movie is a hot mess. And I didn't honestly care because it was just so much fun.
Yeah, no, I was having a very good time. There were a lot of interesting bits. There were too many characters. And I do think that I don't know where else I don't know how you would have gotten around this. But there was a decided lack of ghost busting. It was like 2 ghost busting scenes. And it didn't bother me at the time, but I saw it pointed out. I was like, yeah, I guess that is kind of weird. In a movie called Ghostbusters, they didn't do a whole lot of ghost busting, which is, dude, it's fine, whatever. But yeah, we'll talk more about it on the podcast. What do we got next?
There is, just before I do that, there is one moment in that movie where Dan Aykroyd delivers perhaps the finest bit of acting that he has ever done. And it is when Ray Stantz is talking to Winston Zeddemore, and he says to him, "This is what I want to be doing with my golden years." And it's so genuine and heartfelt, and it was just such an awesome moment from Dan Aykroyd of, like, this actor who we all love getting to do exactly what he wants with his life. It's just fucking great. It's a wonderful moment in the film. Finally, on this month's episode of this week's episode, it was Angie's pick, and she went with the sci-fi original series Resident Evil. Alien. It's a show about Alan Tudyk being Alan Tudyk. He's being hilarious, and aliens and stuff. Plus, Kris talks about the glory of X-Men 97. Karen is joyful over the return of Girls 5 Eva. Evan gives CBS more credit than it deserves, quite frankly, and a whole lot more. Don't miss this week's episode 275, Next Level Vendor Spiegel.
Have you watched
Did I get that
Resident
right?
Alien? You did.
No,
Resident Alien's a
I have
great
not.
show. You should watch Resident Alien. It's very good.
I am sure I would like it. I do enjoy the work of Mr. Tudyk.
Yeah, it's really just a whole lot of him being weird.
He's pretty great.
magnificent. Yeah, he's great. It's wonderful. For all of this and more from us and our partners, be sure to keep your eyes on geekade.com. Hi, everybody. We have returned from our break, and now it is time to discuss what is new at Stone Age Gamer. This is the segment of the show where I talk about what's new at Stone Age Gamer. We like to call it What's New at Stone Age Gamer. I think I'm far funnier than I am.
You are nailing this. God, this is getting
very,
weekly,
very good at this.
the improvements. Oh,
yes.
man.
Emphasis on the word week. So first, we are gearing up for the eventual coming of G-Comps. These are these like component switcher thingies. They're pretty spicy. But we're going to get our first run of them since we've started carrying them. We're hoping to get them by the end of the month. They were supposed to be here already, but where we get them from has been a bit slower and more difficult to communicate with than we would like. But you know, these things happen. Obviously, like these are complex things, and I think they're being assembled. That they'll be sent out to us, and hopefully we will have them by the end of the month. And hopefully they will show up with the Power Base Minis that I talked about a few weeks ago that still aren't here, but they should be here by the end of the month. God willing, we will have the Power Base Mini and the Power Base Mini FN back in stock at Stone Age Gamer by the end of April 2024. Fingers crossed. We also
God willing, and the crick don't rise.
And the crick don't rise. Call me a crick.
Hey.
We opened up pre-orders, and I believe they're still open as of the time where you will be listening to this podcast. We opened up pre-orders on the Retro Time DC Blue Retro. The Retro Time Blue Retro receivers have been pretty darn cool, and they've been doing really well for us. We have the N64 one and the GameCube one, and this is one for the Dreamcast, so you can use whatever Bluetooth controller you like and modern Bluetooth controllers to control your Dreamcast. It does include... it has some memory built in, so it doesn't have VMU functionality. Like there's no screen or anything, so you can't get the VMU screen cooking when you're doing this. However, there is some built-in memory in the unit itself, which is kind of cool. So you don't have to worry about too much in the game saves department. I don't know how much memory is actually in it, but it is a neat device. I'm excited to see it show up and see how it works. Get my hands on one, test it all out. We did get the MemCard Pro GCs in finally. Those had been on pre-order for a long time. People have been waiting for those things to come in. They came out, and we shipped out all of our pre-orders, and then we had a few extra for sale, and they were gone in like no time flat. I think like
That's
an hour tops, they were just gone. And it is awesome, but it's also kind of a bummer because now we're getting a bunch of emails from people saying, "Oh no, I didn't get one. I didn't even notice they were back in stock. They were gone by the time I got here." And we have no clue when more of them are coming in, which is kind of a bummer. Yeah. There's definitely demand for these things, but 8-Bit Mods has those. They got those out. They're still getting us the PS2 ones. Those are the new ones, the PS2 MemCard Pro 2s. Those should be here also by the end of the month, I think. Those are really cool. I can't wait to get my hands on those. I have a MemCard Pro GC. Like, they sent me one of those a while back when we got our first run of them. They're like, all right, we're going to make a video on these. And they're like, whoa, don't make a video on them yet. We don't have any left to sell. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to get the video ready for this one since we're going to have a bunch of them. And like, all right, let's get that going. Never mind. Don't bother. Don't make anything for that yet. Next time we actually have some to sell, I will hopefully be able to put together a video about them. But one thing I do have a video made for that should be going up on Sunday. It'll be up, obviously, by the time anybody listens to this podcast. And that is on the 7800 game drive. I finally got to put some time into that thing. I talked about my troubles with making that last week, right? Where my system couldn't read controllers. Well, they sent me a replacement system. I got the video finished put together. That sentence was weird. But anyway, we usually, with the items that I do videos on, we wind up doing giveaways on, because like instead of selling open box items, why don't we just give them away for free? It's fun. It gives us things to give away to free for people. But they decided to go the extra mile with this one for some reason. We are giving away a 7800 console with a 7800 game drive, Mega 7800 adapter, a brand new 6-button officially licensed Sega Genesis Retrobit controller, and HD Retrovision component cables. Which is kind of awesome. That is
what more could you people possibly want?
That is a beefy giveaway right there. Go to stoneagegamer.com/enter to win, enter -2-win, or follow the link in the show notes to enter. It's free to enter. You don't have to buy anything. You just go there and fill out the forms and do all the things, and you can be entered to win a nice looking Atari 7800 console with a game drive, 7800 adapter, like the whole works. If you've ever wanted to get into the wonderful world of Atari 7800 stuff, this is your time. Oh, and I will say awesome. And through that, when I finally got a functioning 7800 with the controller ports working, I got to spend some time with that Ricky and Vicky game, which is really freaking good. I kind of had an idea of what it was about, and there's a little bit more to it than I expected. It's really quite a good game. I wonder if it'll ever get ported to anything other than 7800. It's a really good looking game too. It's like, it's one of those things you look at and say, man, the 7800 actually had some potential, and it's kind of a shame we don't see more really, really cool homebrew for the 7800. I also got to spend a little bit of time with Catacombs of Chaos, the one of John Hancock's 2600 games. That was neat. I didn't quite understand it because I didn't put a ton of time into learning how to understand it because it's a 2600 game, but it looks really neat. And through the HD Retrovision cables, it freaks me out how good a 2600 games look playing off a 7800 game drive through the HD Retrovision cables on my component TV. Like, it freaks me out how good those look. It's really, really awesome. And that's what's been going on at Stone Gamer.
It's wild when you start to see like that kind of upscaled, or like that forced upscaled kind of shit. Not that it's doing like a ton of processing or whatever, but
no, right? Because this is still like a CRT. It's just like
it still is what it is.
Yeah, it's the Genesis HD Retrovision cables continue to impress me, and like all the systems that also use them. Like, I have my Genesis hooked into it right now, and it's like every time I turn on my Genesis, it freaks me out how the difference between standard composite and component was, even on the CRT. It's like night and day. It's really wild to see. And seeing all these old Atari games look like that, it's really a great way to play them. And in fact, I kind of prefer playing them through that to the 2600 plus on my, through HDMI. Like, that thing was great and all, but I don't know, playing on the 7800 game drive with the save states and all that stuff. The save states don't really work for 2600 games, but 7800 games they do. And there's no real compatibility issues. Like, I kind of feel like running the 7800 with an HD Retrovision cable through a 7800 game drive is a better overall looking experience than even the 2600 plus, which is cool. I still like my 2600 plus. It's still a neat thing to have, but I think I'm going to be using the game drive more often than not going forward. But anyways, that is what's new at Stone Age Gamer, and that means it is time to buckle in for Week Old News. Welcome to Week Old News, where we talk about all the news that was new a week ago. And first up, we have something that isn't quite news, but I figured this was a good place to put it. We were contacted by the folks at a YouTube channel. Oh, hold on. I messed this up. Oh, I messed this up something good because I didn't write this down. I'm going to get there, though. I'm just going to go ahead and talk and say the things and the stuff and go to this website that was for a Kickstarter for a show. All right, so the website, the YouTube channel, here we are. Welcome back to my brain. The YouTube channel is called Wieners and Losers, like hot dog wieners, haha. And they did a Kickstarter for a show called Arcade Animals, which is kind of like their take on Starcade.
Which is kind of awesome.
It is kind of awesome. I watched episode 4, which was had the two contestants were Justin Emery and Will Cooper. One of them is the world record holder for food fight, which is kind of cool. And it was a neat little show. It seems like it's one of those things that's going to continue to evolve if it continues to have the opportunity to. It's not getting as many views as I would expect something like this to get, but you know, as we've all seen with my experience with YouTube videos, I sure don't know what the hell's. I sure don't know what gets views and what doesn't. You. Yeah, I'm the wrong person to ask, but they emailed us that they listened to our podcast and they thought we would like to check this out, and they were right. I thought this was a really fun show. It's called Arcade Animals. If you like arcade games and you are interested in watching a game show about people competing in classic arcade games, this is a thing that exists. Wieners and Losers. Go check them out.
That's awesome.
On the YouTubes.
I have it up right now. I will check it out after we're done.
Yeah. Our first story.
Say,
go ahead.
Say they emailed us. They emailed you. I'm just here. I'm your side bitch. I get it.
They emailed Stone Age Gamer. You're us. You're the royal we.
Don't let Ryan hear you say that.
Our first proper story comes to us from GoNintendo.com. Hallmark reveals their 2024 gaming-related ornament lineup. I love that this has become a thing.
That's awesome.
So we've got Mario collecting coins, which I think looks like it might make some noises. I don't know about this one. It's like a chunk of a new Super Mario Brothers stage. It's a neat idea, okay. But you've got Mario with the propeller hat, also from New Super Mario Brothers. You've got Toad in a Mario Kart, a Mario Kart, I guess. The wheels turn. I don't know, that's kind of cool. That's okay.
Party kart.
More interesting to me, and I want to know more about this one, there is an Oregon Trail one, which is an old school computer monitor playing the Oregon Trail. That's what that one is.
That's awesome.
I love it. I want to know if it makes any noise or does anything, and I can't read what it says on the screen. It might say you have died of dysentery, and if it does, I might have to get it. You know what? I wonder if I can get... See, the Go Nintendo article, the pictures are all really small. I want to see if I can get a direct link to... Here we go. But it's a much larger picture, but it's all... It's still kind of fuzzy. I can't read what's on the screen. Let's see if this link can do me one better.
Okay.
But anyways, there's is this going to load or what? Why are you taking so dang long? This PDF, it sent me to a PDF of the Dream Book, the 2024 Dream Book. Whatever. Anyway, back to the actual article. Where was I? There was a Blastoise, which looks pretty cool. But cooler than that, there's a Magikarp.
Ooh, love a good Magikarp.
I might have to have Magikarp Christmas ornament on my tree this year. I might have to have it. There's a Kingdom Hearts Mickey Mouse. There's a couple of Pikmin, a red, blue, and yellow Pikmin. There's what's her name, the owl girl from Animal Crossing. There's an Xbox, which apparently plays Halo music when you turn it on. That's their console for this year, right? They did Dreamcast last year. They did Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis and NES. So there's an original Xbox ornament. There's also a Master Chief, some more Minecraft stuff. What's this last page? Are any of these video games? There's a Super Mario Boo. A handful of Pokeballs.
Okay.
I bet John would love the Pokeballs. That would be cool. So is this oh yeah, it's a set of 6. $16.99 gets you a set of 6 Pokeball ornaments. That's kind of cool.
That is kind of cool.
Yeah, that's not a terrible price. I bet John would like that. And that I think is it for video game related ones. Yeah, there's a couple of Minions and the Cakey Cat from was that Gabby's Dollhouse, I think is what that's from. Some show that Ellie used to watch. But yeah, the Pokeball set. That might be the thing I get. Pokeballs or the Magikarp. Yeah. One or the other.
I mean, you got to go Magikarp.
Yeah, he's so stupid looking. I love him. I just love him.
Yeah.
Dead-eyed fish. Oh, it's great. That's pretty cool. Hallmark, keep up with the nerdy ornaments. Good job.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Next story comes from Time Extension. Game Boy emulator that topped iPhone App Store gets yanked for copyright infringement. What a shocker.
Does it? I have it on my phone. Can I still open it?
I bet you can still open
gone.
it. Oh, no? Yeah, wow. All right.
No, I thought I downloaded it. Maybe I didn't.
Apparently there's another one
Delta,
out there right now, too.
That's the one?
Let's see. It doesn't actually say what this one is in here.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I didn't download it.
Yeah, Delta.
I could be drunk again. Okay.
Testa has since moved on to Delta, which it will be coming to iPhone in Europe. Yeah, and then so it went up, and then it got pulled down. Apparently it worked really well, too. And I think there's another one out there that has taken its place, but I imagine this is the kind of thing that's just we're going to keep seeing them show up and then shut down, and eventually there's just going to be a bunch of them up there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. There has to be some honesty involved of like, yes, part of it is for game preservation, obviously. Most of it is for stealing games. Let's just be honest about what we're doing here, guys.
Oh my goodness.
It's fine.
Next up, also from Time Extension, this story makes me extremely happy because I didn't think this was ever going to happen. Missing History of Nintendo books finally being published in English. Author
cool.
Florent George recently revealed that the final 2 volumes of his History of Nintendo series are finally being translated into English. I bought the first 2 of these in 2012. And
okay.
I love these 2 books. They're really, really interesting. They've got all these wonderful pictures in them. But the first 2 books are everything before video games, and the second one is like all... so it's like the History of Nintendo Volume 1 is 1889 to 1980, and then Volume 2 is 1981 to 1991. And then they were like, in those books, and coming soon, History of Nintendo 3 and 4, and they just never happened. They apparently happened elsewhere in the world, but I was never able to buy them. And it seems that the History of Nintendo 1 and 2 books I was reading in this article are actually worth a buttload of money now.
Really?
Yeah, I'm very curious.
Because everything is worth a buttload of money now?
Yeah, I mean, they've been out of print, so that's naturally how that kind of shit goes. But let's see.
Yeah.
History of Nintendo Volume 1. Holy moly, $198. Wow.
Get the fuck out of here. For a book? Nerd.
I mean, they're really good books, but like, wow, that's a lot of dollars.
I mean, are they, though? They're still just books.
They're not even big books.
They got pictures in them, at least.
They're almost all pictures. They're lovely. They're well put together, but still, it's a lot of nuts. They're small books though. Like they're not.
Sorry.
But it's just the English ones. Like the French ones, like their original language is like $13. Like,
yeah.
Those are no problem, but apparently the English language ones are really hard to get your hands on. I am all over this. I will buy both of those the instant they are available. I cannot freaking wait to get them.
Right the fuck on.
Yeah. 1983 to 2016. That's a big one.
It's a lot of time to cover.
I think what they're doing is that one is all home consoles, and then the other one is all portables. It's kind of hard to tell. History of Nintendo 3 is, let's see where this just says Famicom Nintendo Entertainment System, but it says it goes up to 2016. I wonder what's really in this. Oh, I'm so curious. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I love these nerdy-ass books. I'm excited, Syphil. Oh, look, there's the catalog. Oh my god! All right, I'll see if I can find the Oregon Trail one. I really want to see what it says on the screen. Come on! Why is this having such a hard time loading? This is ridiculous. Oh, that's not the Oregon Trail. That's an ultrasound. Oh, that's weird. Why would you want an ultrasound? That's great. Where is this Oregon Trail? There it is. There you are.
It's right there.
Show me potato salad. I want to know what's on this thing. All right. No, I don't think it's gonna. I don't think even if I zoom this in, I'm gonna be able to tell it's written on the screen. Oh, it's pretty high detail. Let's see. It does. It says you have died of dysentery. I could have a Christmas ornament that says you have died of dysentery. That's pretty great.
Yeah, it's pretty great. It's pretty great.
It's an old-ass computer monitor. It's wonderful. Oh, that was worth the wait. Oh, boy. Anyways.
Well, because all of the listeners got to see it with you at the same time, so that made it definitely worth it.
The discovery was where it was at. Next up, really also from Time Extension, new Konami Code discovered in Castlevania game 25 years later. Castlevania Legacy of Darkness for N64, which was originally released in 1999, has a variation of the Konami Code hidden in it, and nobody knew about it until very recently.
That shit's wild.
User Jupiter Climb on YouTube posted a video that's done on the C buttons. Up, 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 down, 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 left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, LRZ unlocks all of the characters in the game. They found it from like going through the game's data or something. That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
It's like it's not difficult to tell why it was hidden.
This shit out now.
Well, they were going through the game's code and they found it. Like,
no, I'm saying like who? What? Why are you spending your time going through the code of this game now?
That is a good question. Which leads us to our next story. Also from Time Extension, Mortal Kombat is getting a fan-made Jaguar port.
I fucking love that. I love that is happening.
Oh man, there's a video. That guy did a video of it in action, and it looks fucking great. Because it's the original arcade Mortal Kombat. It looks
like a Jaguar port of Mortal Kombat.
Well, so I mean, it's Mortal Kombat 1.
Maybe.
Well, it's Mortal Kombat 1, so like doesn't seem like it's beyond the capabilities of the Jaguar. It looks pretty close to arcade, but again, it's really early on in development. Like, it doesn't do a lot of things. Like the animations of like the actual attacks are really clunky when they hit each other. So like that's not quite ready for showtime yet. But it's an interesting project. Yeah, this clearly comes from the department of like, let's see if I can. Yeah, there's no question in my mind that this just came from like, I want to see if I can do this. Very interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty outstanding. I love that it is happening.
Me too.
It makes
Especially
me
that it's
very, very happy that it's happening.
The original Mortal Kombat. Like, I love that game still. That's one of the games I pulled that up on that arcade cabinet you guys made for me. Probably more than you'd expect. It's just one of my favorites to jump in and just, pick Scorpion, do a couple fatalities, move on with my day.
It's super fun, man. It's a really solid fucking game. Spoilers for anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about. Mortal Kombat, pretty good.
Kotaku reports someone bought 4,000 worthless copies of Alan Wake.
Because why not?
This is somebody, user Fake Phantasm on Twitter. I've acquired what I think is an object of power. I will report back on its usefulness after more research. It is a box of 4,000 Xbox 360 download codes for Alan Wake. I spent $240 on them. Approximately 4,000 of them in the box.
Yeah. I mean...
I don't think you can't use them.
Just...
Love the story.
There are homeless people that needed to eat.
Can they eat Alan Wake digital codes for Xbox?
I doubt it.
What a weird thing to do. I love it. Oh, sometimes the internet really just gives back. Time Extension reports the Evercade EXP-R and Evercade Versus R consoles to launch this July. This is a hardware revision for the Evercade. They also announced recently there's going to be a bigger...
$100?
I think so, yeah. They're like pared down. Yeah, they're going to be $99.99. The older models will be discontinued. They go on sale on April 30th. We will probably wind up getting them a Stone Age Gamer because we do a decent amount of Evercade stuff. There's also going to be more advanced cartridges coming out soon. Like they'll be able to hold larger games. They announced that there's
Giga carts, they're calling them, right?
Yeah, Giga carts. There's going to be the Tomb Raider trilogy on Evercade. This is such a neat platform. I love it. I love that it's got its audience.
I want one, Chris. I want one. I'm just putting that out into the world.
Let everyone know. Dan wants an Evercade.
I can make a video. I just putting that out there. I think they're neat. I don't know. And like, it's weird. That's the one thing that like I've seen where I've been like, yeah, okay, I get it. I don't know why I get that one, but that one like clicks for me.
It's a neat little thing.
Yeah.
The cartridges are pretty cool. It's a neat thing. I like that this ecosystem exists. It's not really for me because I have most of the old games that I would want.
Sure.
But you know, it's because I'm a hoarder.
I think what I really like about, or what I appreciate about it, is that they are very, very much aware of who their target audience is, and they are pricing things in a way that makes them affordable, realistic. Like, if you want to collect this way, this is a pretty good way to do it.
Oh, sorry. Yes, no, I 100% agree. Like the pricing.
Yawn when I'm talking to you.
I'm tired and you're boring.
Whore. That's what I'm saying. Fuck you, you prick.
No, I agree. The cases the cartridges come in, they all line up real nice. They're numbered.
Yeah, like they're doing a really
series.
Good job.
They're really nailing this, and the Evercade plays all the games really well.
Yeah.
Anytime that I've spent with the Evercade, there's never been any like weird. This is some cheapo emulation knockoff thing. Like the games play like they're supposed to play, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, they do a good job with indie games, right? Like I'm looking at this Indie Heroes Collection 3 that's got Donut Dodo on it. Yep. You know, which is like probably worth the price of admission right there. Yeah, it's a cool fucking thing. They're going to be a guest on the show in a couple of weeks. Put that.
We're going to have an Evercade on.
Yeah.
So you're an Evercade, huh? Are you? Gee, what does it feel like to have a cartridge insert?
When it goes in, what's that feel like?
So like,
I don't know.
Is that what you call loading the dishwasher?
When you get together with your other Evercade friends.
Oh God. Evercade
Somebody
orgies.
come here and blow out the dust. Oh, goodness.
Oh, exciting. All right, IGN reports. Oh, this is a 90-degree turn. Take-Two announces layoffs while canceling multiple in-development projects.
They're fucking pricks.
GTA 6 publisher is laying off around 5% of its workforce, or around 579 workers.
Because they obviously can't afford it.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to make any money.
Yeah, the publisher...
I hate them so much.
You know, I don't even want to discuss it. It was just one of those things that it's happening in the news. I needed to bring it up, and there I did.
Yep.
Let us move on. Nintendo Indie World Showcase, April 2024. Everything announced. This comes from IGN. Of course, the subtitle is No Hollow Knight Silksong again.
Yep.
There was some cool
Only
stuff
thing that
in here.
matters.
Man,
I was so fucking whelmed by this one.
I mean, it's an indie showcase. I'm never overwhelmed by these. If there's like two things I want, then I call it a win.
I fucking love the indie games. Big fan of indie gaming.
I love indie gaming, but the ones they show off on these showcases typically don't speak to me.
Yeah,
so I've lowered my expectations for this one. I wouldn't say it's shit because the things that I liked in this, I really liked. Like, I don't care about this Little Kitty Big City game, although I really like the name. It's fun to say. And
it's an outstanding name. It looks adorable.
Ellie wants it.
I played Stray.
Yeah.
Stray was the version for me.
I really thought that was going to show up on Switch by now, to be perfectly honest. Like,
yeah, it's weird that it hasn't.
That's a weird one that seems to be missing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like this is the cutesy version of Stray. Like, okay, I can see the appeal. Not for me. This next one I really don't know how to feel about, and that is Yars Rising. I didn't think it looked very good, but this is a way forward game.
It didn't look bad.
Yeah, it didn't look bad. It's a way forward game though, and it's like a way forward doing.
They're pretty good.
Yeah, they do good stuff.
They do good work.
I didn't like the character, like the cheeky dialogue of the character seemed really forced. Like, it was just like, I don't know what you're doing. And like this weird, I don't understand what its connection is to Yar's Revenge. I thought it was cute that the evil corporation is like, was it Co-Corp or something, or Co-Tech?
Something like
the Cotile. And if you're looking at the buildings in the beginning, there's like Howard Scott Warshaw's initials are on one of the buildings. Another one says Nolan on it. Like, so it's steeped in a bunch of Atari history, and it's a Metroidvania type game. I don't know. I'm interested. I just wish the game looked better. But also, it's coming to the VCS, so that's probably where I'll wind up getting it if I get it at all. So,
yeah. I thought that was a weird one. It's a weird universe to jump into and develop. Like, I wonder, like, where was the demand for that?
And the
like,
fact
what
that
we really
like,
need?
We need
deeper lore in the Yars universe.
But like, I don't know that this is actually connected to the Yars Revenge games. Like, I don't know. I don't understand what it is, because they're using images from the Atari game, almost like this character exists in a world where the game existed. I don't know. It's very interesting. I'm very curious about what's going on here, because you're making the joke about the lore about Yara's Revenge, but like, that was part of the selling point of the original Atari game in the first place. It came with the fucking comic book. Like,
no, I know. I'm not debating that point. I'm just saying, in 2024, like, who is knocking down the door for more fucking Yara's Revenge lore?
I mean, who knows? But again, this doesn't seem like that thing.
Maybe there is a gigantic collection.
This isn't about
out there.
Bugs fighting the Quotile. Like, that's not what this is. This is like a human hacker
put
girl.
The name in there?
That's the question. This is such a weird project, but because of everyone involved, and because I've generally liked what Atari's been doing with themselves lately.
Yeah.
I'm interested enough to give this a try. It was such a weird announcement that I never would have seen coming. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about every game.
But now you have my curiosity, kind of thing.
Yeah, there you go. Let's go with that. What was the line that Cell said in Dragon Ball Abridged? It was something along the lines of, "You had my curiosity, but now you have my erection."
That's what it is. You had my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
There we go.
Leonardo DiCaprio just being a racist prick. Fuck Django Unchained is a good movie, though. Anyway.
Sticky Business. Yes, I'm not going to talk about every game. We already talked about Anton Blast. That game was fucking great. I'm really excited about it. Europa. There's some Ninja Turtles game. Was a mobile game of some sort. Splintered
it's pretty
Fate.
Good.
Is it? Yeah, it looks neat.
Pretty good.
Not for me.
Yeah.
Looks neat. The third Cat Quest game is coming out. They keep making those. That's kind of interesting.
The big knock, on the fucking Ninja Turtles game though, is that it's online co-op.
Huh.
Like it's not couch co-op.
Not even the Switch version?
That's fucking annoying.
Like I get the mobile version, but
they specifically said jump online, not play with your friends.
Right.
Like it was jump online to, drop in, drop out. Whatever.
Right.
Like, man, come on.
So there were two other games in this showcase that actually interested me. One is called Bzzzt. Have you seen this one?
I have. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm really into the way this one looks. It looks like in one of those like precision platformer kind of games, except it just has a really, really good aesthetic going on. Some really interesting powers and stuff. You're a cute little robot, jumping and dashing and all that, Dadish style glory. That's kind of what it reminds me of. Yeah, one of those games. And then the other one, we had seen this in a previous Indie Direct, I think. I can't remember exactly where we saw this. It's called Animal Well. This game looks wild.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Could also be, it's less of a precision platformer. I want to say this one's more of a, like, exploratory Metroidvania almost kind of game. But you're some adorable little cat-looking thing or whatever. It's got a really interesting look to it. It's like kind of dark and spooky, but also cute. It's a really interesting looking game. So I don't know. It was a perfectly acceptable indie showcase. Like I said, I never really get too jazzed on these because most of them are going to be games I don't care about. But there was like 4 games in here that I'm interested in. That's pretty solid.
They ended it.
They ended it with the one that you would like. Yeah.
But see, that's the thing. I never got into the heist games. I like the SteamWorld Dig games. The heist, it's pretty cool. But it just never hooked me the way that the Dig games did. So I was like, all right, like that's cool that's coming out, but like, I don't
know. Some people really dig those heist ones. I've never really gotten into them.
Yeah, either. No, I know. The thing that they showed that I was the most excited for was Another Crab's Treasure.
Oh yeah? I don't know. Something about that game looks off to me. I've seen that one a couple of times now, and like, I guess it looks okay.
I think it looks neat.
Something about it. I know how much you love 3D platformers, so
I do apparently fucking love 3D platformers. I love crabs. Got a bunch of them. I love
crabs too. It's called manscaping, Dan.
No, ew, gross.
It's hygienic.
It's like the fucking 70s over here. How dare you?
Polygon reports Star Trek Lower Decks creator is turning Sega's Golden Axe into an animated comedy.
Like, all right, so here was my initial reaction. And I did not share this because I thought this was such a good reaction that I wanted to save it for the podcast. I have already seen Thundercats roar. I'm good.
I don't know that this is the same animal. Thundercats Roar was a kids show, right?
No.
Wasn't that a Cartoon Network thing?
Yeah, but it was just like weird and goofy and wacky, and like I get what they were going for, and it wasn't bad, but it just wasn't. It's not still on, so that should tell you how much everybody else liked it, right? I've seen this before, you know. I'm good. I'm good.
Well, what interests me, obviously, I was never exactly in the market for a Golden Axe comedy, but Lower Decks is fucking great. Like, I adore that show, and I am so pissed that it is ending. It should go for at least another couple of seasons. I'm very angry that that show is ending. But Lower Decks is fantastic, so I will at the very least be giving this a shot. Because if this is half as funny as Lower Decks, then count me in. But I don't have much of a connection to Golden Axe. It seems like a real weird fit, but...
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, I'm not saying, like, I'm not interested in it because I fucking love Golden Axe, and this is an affront to the legacy of Gold. Like, that's not what it is. I can't imagine that this is a thing I'm going to be super into. I could be totally wrong. It might be great.
Nobody nobody expected the Twisted Metal show to be good, but apparently it was. So,
I mean, I still haven't watched it. I don't know.
I haven't watched it either, but I heard it's great. So, and it got renewed for another season. So,
I know. I have a fucking moral issue with that show. It's you cast Samoa Joe as fucking
Sweet
as
Tooth.
What's his douche as Sweet Tooth, which fucking in a promo. There's an AEW pay-per-view coming up this weekend where the Swerve Strickland is the guy wrestling Samoa Joe for the AEW title, and in a promo thing that they were doing on Wednesday night to hype up the pay-per-view, he fucking yelled at him. He was like, "Bring your sweet tooth looking ass in here so I can fucking beat you up." It was fucking great. But like Samoa Joe is legit one of like the best promos in professional wrestling. The dude sounds fucking scary, but he's also funny. He's got a good cadence. He's got a good voice. He's got all of these things that you would want in like Sweet Tooth, but they don't let him talk. And I was like, well, I just don't want to watch this show then, because fuck you for doing that to Samoa Joe.
Yeah,
which is a silly reason not to watch a show, but I will watch it at some point, I suppose.
Yeah, I'll give it a whirl.
Like
maybe
Will
after
Arnett.
Yeah, it's weird.
Will Arnett is the voice.
Weird.
And I don't hate Will Arnett at all. Like, he's good.
BoJack Horseman's a great show.
Didn't he do Lego Batman as well?
He did.
The fucking throwing like 38 batarangs and then be like, first try. Like, that shit's fucking legitimately hilarious. That stuff was good. But it's just Samoa Joe is so fucking good at it. Just bummed.
Well,
apparently
finally,
that's a trigger for me.
Our last story does not involve Samoa Joe.
God damn it! Now I'm upset that it doesn't.
Reports the processor used in Pac-Man is being discontinued 48 years after it launched. I didn't know that that was still being used. The Zilog Z80 launched in 1976 and it's officially being retired. That's crazy.
That is, like, why would you still be used?
What's it still being used for?
Yeah, like, I fully admit, I don't know shit about shit when it comes to this kind of thing.
It says here, in recent years, the Z80 has become a popular microcontroller used in embedded systems. Huh.
I don't know what that means.
I don't either.
Like, I know what all of those words mean individually.
I'm familiar with
them. Put them all
them
together like that, I'm like, man, I don't know. Okay.
Beats me. But there you go. That wraps up week-old news. And that wraps up our time before this next commercial break. So we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we'll be getting to our feature topic, the 10, 20, 30, 40 for April 2024. You're listening to the Stone Age Gamer podcast from geekade.com. Stick around. Hi everyone, Kris here. Podcast listening is free, but podcast creation is not. That's why the Geekade Patreon exists. In an effort to help us pay the bills, we've got a Patreon page set up where you can gain access to our monthly podcast topic schedule, get early access to many of our shows, and more. If you'd like to help support Geekade and keep these shows running week after week, head over to the Geekade Patreon page, linked in the show notes of this very podcast.
We are Safe at Home, the leading dog rescue in the heart of New Jersey. Are you searching for a loyal companion, a dog that will bring love and joy to your home? Look no further than Safe at Home. At Safe at Home, we believe in giving every dog a second chance. We rescue, rehabilitate, and find loving forever homes for dogs in need, right here in the Garden State. Our dogs are ready to make a lasting impact on your life. Each one has a unique story, a wagging tail, and an incredible capacity for love. When you adopt from Safe at Home, you're not just gaining a pet, you're becoming a part of our family. Our dedicated team ensures a seamless adoption process, providing ongoing support and guidance. With New Jersey's beautiful parks, beaches, and trails, you and your new furry friend will have endless opportunities for adventures and cherished memories. Safe at Home relies on the support of compassionate individuals like you. Your donations and volunteer work enable us to continue saving lives and finding forever homes for these amazing dogs. Join us in creating a safer, happier community for dogs in New Jersey. Together we can make a difference and give every dog the chance to feel safe at home. Visit our website or call us now to learn about how you can be a part of the Safe at Home mission. Safe at Home, because every dog deserves to be loved and protected. www.safeathomerescue.org.
All right, everybody, we are back. We're back and better than ever. Dan has loaded the dishwasher, and we are ready to continue the show.
Aw. It was a short break. Tiff should be disappointed. It is our anniversary, after all.
Welcome to the 10, 20, 30, 40. This is a monthly segment we do where we talk about new games. We talk about old games. Notable game releases that were released 10, 20, 30, and 40 years ago this month. So let's kick things off with April 2014. We are looking at the PlayStation 3 first. Let's see what was cooking on PlayStation 3 in April of 2014. We had MLB The Show, Assassin's Creed IV, Black Flag. This is the one that you hook directly up to your veins.
That's right.
Arkham.
God, that game's 10 years old. Jesus.
Yeah. Lego The Hobbit. Boy, those Hobbit movies were a big disappointment, weren't they?
I couldn't tell you. I watched a little bit of the first one. I don't fucking like the Lord of the Rings movies.
I love the Lord of the Rings movies. The Hobbit ones were just
I don't think they're very good.
I think you're insane.
I'm going to go out on a limb.
You're over here trying to tell me that I should spend time watching The Flash. But those Lord of the Rings movies, I don't think they're very good.
No, they weren't. I think they were self-indulgent. I think Peter Jackson is a bit fucking full of himself. Thought the dialogue was, for the most part, cringeworthy at best. However, I can't really blame Peter Jackson for that part because I think the source material is kind of shit too.
Okay.
Which, like, I know is like fucking blasphemy, but like, really, fuck Tolkien. So I'll go out on that limb. I don't care. Never liked it.
But the fucking Flash. Let's watch that. Let's watch a bunch of CG animated corpses get paraded around on screen. Look, It's Christopher Reeve's Superman. Isn't that great? Look at him.
Great.
He's right there. Makes perfect sense in the story. Yeah, look at him. It's great. It
made as much sense as anything else in the fucking Lord of the Rings movies. Let's just put it that way.
Fucking lunatic.
Wizard doesn't arrive late. Wizard arrives right on time. No, he fucking doesn't. You were out of shit and you were like, Gandalf. That's what you fuck you.
That was the joke.
I didn't say
they started laughing immediately after he said the fucking line.
I know. Fuck him. I didn't say that the Flash movie was good. Well, I don't do drugs, Chris. You know me. I'm straight edge.
Gandalf does.
You
Gandalf's
shall not pass. Yeah, I will.
To be fair, he did not pass.
To be fair, he didn't. No, I didn't say the Flash was great. I said you should watch it. It was
I really
okay.
Shouldn't. Why should I waste my time on an okay movie?
It's the best DC movie. That's not true. That's not true. Birds of Prey was better. The Suicide Squad was like marginal. I don't love that movie.
No, I don't love it either. It was fine. Peacemaker, though, that was great.
The Peacemaker TV show is way better.
Yeah.
That's the best thing that DC has done. Anyway, we're way off track here.
Yes.
Assassin's Creed IV. Hook it into your veins. Fucking great.
Got to be up in a couple hours to buy a record because I'm a goober. It's just a bunch of fucking DLC here, not seeing anything of value. There was that real disappointing Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows game.
Yeah, that wasn't great.
Yeah. And now we're on to May, so yeah.
And that's just PS3, right?
That's just PS3. Which, I mean, we're at the end of the PS3's life cycle here.
Sure.
We're in PS4 territory now. PS4 had, if we go to April, let's see. We're
Assassin's Creed IV.
Yep. Call of Duty Ghosts Devastation, whatever the hell that nonsense is. Lego The Hobbit. Trials Fusion. Pure chess. None of that watered down chess. This is pure chess.
This is straight uncut fucking Colombian chess.
The Amazing Spider-Man game, which nobody seemed to like very much.
Makes me sad, Chris, that we're going to go with like actual episode titles now because pure uncut Colombian chess is a really good fucking episode title.
It is indeed. Octodad got ported to PS4. That's cool. Octodad.
Yeah, I mean, Octodad's great.
That's good stuff.
It's a good song.
Yeah. That's a really good song. Nobody suspects a thing. Ah, boy. Wow. Just hit me with fucking nothing here, guys. Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
All right. Xbox 360. Hit us with some good times here, Xbox 360. What do you got for us?
Hit us with your Benatar.
Yeah, it was Pat Benatar, by the way. I got that right.
I know.
I would like full credit for that.
Full marks.
Full marks. Thank you.
Yeah. Passing grade.
All right,
10 out of 10,
Xbox 360 also has the Arkham Origins Blackgate DLC, Titanfall. Was that a thing? Crafted by one of the co-creators of Call of Duty. It seems to have an 83 Metascore. That's not too bad.
Like, I do remember people liking Titanfall, but it never sold, I think, like, to the numbers that they wanted it to. It did get a sequel, though.
Well, that's not nothing.
That's not nothing.
Warface? The hell's Warface? I've never heard of Warface.
Show me your Warface.
I've never heard of that game in my entire life.
It's one of the funniest moments in fucking Full Metal Jacket. Funny is the wrong way to put that, but have you ever seen Full Metal Jacket?
I have, yeah. I haven't seen it in a long time. Not since high school. Yeah,
so that does not seem like a you kind of movie.
I had a couple of my friends were really into Stanley Kubrick stuff, and they were like, "You got to watch this one." I said, "Okay." And I don't remember much about it.
Movie. it's not like a fun movie to get through, but it's a really good fucking movie.
I remember it being entertaining. Yeah, that's about it for Xbox 360 too. Wow, what a stinker of a month so far. Jeez.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine Xbox One is going to hit us with much better, but let's see. You were saying?
The, like, early summer, the spring doldrums of video game releases, like, that's not some shit that we made up.
That's true. Woof.
You know, like, this is...
Sports Rivals.
Yeah,
Trials
like,
Fusion,
this is...
that's cool.
This is traditionally the time where it's like, ugh. Fuck, man. Like, there's
some dregs.
I hope you're still enjoying
filler.
your Christmas games, because there ain't shit to play.
Yeah. Yeah, we're in the same basic boat as the PS4 here on Xbox One. Nothing all that exciting. Lego The Hobbit, Amazing Spider-Man, Peggle 2.
I do love being peggled.
Don't we all? All right, Wii U, come to the rescue. What's the Wii U got
to
for
you?
us?
You might not know what pegging is, Chris, and that's okay. That's all right. It's fine.
There's been a lot of revisionist history on the Wii U on the internet this past week. Just, people talking about how great the Wii U, like the Wii U was a great system. It was so misunderstood.
Nope.
Look, I love my Wii U, but there were several clearly defined reasons why that system was a miserable failure. And the revisionist history of being like, look how many great games are on it. Like, yeah, getting a Wii U now is really cool. Living through that time where you'd get like a release worth your while every couple of months, that's a different animal. So Arkham Origins, Blackgate, something called Evo Fish.
Well, that one right there proves what everybody was talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, how dare you glance over Evo Fish, Chris?
Lego The Hobbit.
Let's talk about those Hobbit movies. Those movies sucked. The book's not very good either.
Hey, it's NES Remix 2. That's a genuinely good game.
That is genuinely good.
That is a genuinely good time.
I'm kind of surprised that they haven't done more of that, like, on the Switch.
I am not, and I'll tell you why. It's pure laziness. The NES Remix games were built specifically in the NES emulation engine used on Wii U, which is completely different than the NES emulator used on the Switch. So porting those games means making them from scratch.
And we're not going to do that.
Yeah, I cannot imagine they're going to do it. It's a shame that they won't, because those games are really sticking good. And I would love to play them through a better emulator so the games themselves would look nicer. But, what are you going to do? Well, so far, NES Remix 2 is my favorite game released this year. How about the Wii?
This month, yeah. Not saying much.
No. Come on, the Wii's got to have something good, right? Right? No, of course not.
No.
Were we on 2014? Was there anything in April 2014 on the Wii? I'm going to say no. According to Metacritic, we go straight from December 5th, 2013 to May 16th, 2014. So yeah, the Wii has no saving grace for us. Let's see about handheld systems. The old original DS, 2014, April 2014. Here we go. We got two. We got Lego Friends, Sagittarius A-Star, Sea Battle, and that's it.
Nope.
Not a thing. That's the original DS. That's
all
the original
of this sucks.
That original DS at this time in its life cycle was really just like hanging on by the skin of its teeth. Let's see about the 3DS. The 3DS is where the business is. What do we got in April? There's March. April's got it quick. All right, here we are. We got some good stuff here. What's going on in April? We have The Solitaire, Klondike / Spider.
Oh.
Love it.
Just firing on all fucking cylinders.
We have Rusty's Real Deal Baseball. That was kind of a wild thing. I didn't really play much of that, but that was a weird thing where you could you would be able to bet real money on like changing the price of the games that you could buy by like haggling.
It was weird.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
Mystery Case Files game showed up in the eShop. Dire Grove. We got anything else? Come on, give me something real good here. Disney's Magical World, Bit Boy Arcade, The Tennis. The Tennis? Okay. All right.
Is that another euphemism? Like,
maybe.
Hey, you want to do the tennis tonight? Like, no, I got to wash my hair.
Gardening Mama 2? Gardening with Mama 2? And that's it. Ugh. Come on. Give me something.
There are some months that we do this segment where I think to myself, how have video games survived?
Yeah, what were we doing? January. All right, so now we're on to the PSP. Will the PSP give us anything?
Well, this will be the saving grace.
Without a doubt. April, I have Chronostasia is the only one, and I don't even think that was released in North America. So that's a big fat ball of nope. How about the old Vita? Because if there's any system out there that got plenty of releases, it was the Vita.
It was indeed.
Still March. Goodness gracious, March was a huge month for the Vita. I don't even remember that. April, we got the MLB The Show. There's another winner. Something called Squirrel Run.
I fucking love Squirrel Run. Big Squirrel Run guy.
Got the posters on my wall. The Sly Cooper games.
Probably the biggest Squirrel Run guy in the podcasting space for sure. That's definitely me.
Easily top 5.
Oh, it's not even a question.
Cell Damage was ported to the Vita. Oof.
Okay.
All right. Well, so far as I'm concerned, the winner of this this entire month was NES Remix 2. How about the Ouya? Did the Ouya give us anything good?
Nope. Spoilers.
April 2014. I don't have anything. I have The Walking Dead Season 1 was Q1, so it could have been April, but oof. Wow. All right. Bad 10 years ago was not great.
No.
April 2014, not a very good year for gaming. Let's see how 2004.
Dark times indeed.
How did 2004 hit us? April 2004, the PlayStation 1 in April 2004 got Hellboy Asylum Seeker. Dynamite Soccer, Sitting Ducks.
I'm just going to go out on a limb here, Chris. Hellboy is also kind of mid. Hellboy it occupies the same space as Lord of the Rings.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Ron Perlman's going to come to your house and smack the shit out of you.
I fucking please. Let's do it. Put that shit on video, sell it on Pornhub.
All right, well, the PlayStation 1, not a huge surprise the PlayStation 1 didn't have a big month. But let's see.
In 2004, no.
In 2004.
No,
the fact that it was still breathing is enough for me. So let's talk about PlayStation 2 now. We've got Destruction Derby Arenas. We've got... What's on the next page? Oh, Fight Night 2004. NBA Ballers.
Yeah. Now we're
finally
talking.
seeing some games. Right. Now we're seeing some games. All right. All-Star Baseball 2005. Lots of filler. Hitman Contracts. I remember that being a game people cared about. UFC Sudden
I've never
Impact.
been huge into the Hitman games, but
I haven't either, but I know there are folks out there. Evan's a big fan of it, actually. Evan's a big fan.
Well,
Onimusha 3? Yeah, Onimusha 3, the one with Jean Reno.
That's Jean Reno, the Jean Reno vehicle.
Shrek 2.
Fucking of all the Shrek games, Shrek 2 was where they really refined the formula.
That's where it all came together for him.
Yeah, very similarly to Mega Man 2.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, this was the game. Like, okay, I see the DNA is there in Shrek 1. But when you get to Shrek 2 and the music, oh my God. What a game.
Real winners here.
No, fucking Fight Night. Man, Fight Night is one of those examples, and NBA Ballers too, where, man, when EA decides to give a shit, they kill it.
They do.
You know,
they really
were Knockout Kings was the boxing game, right? And it's so weird because like we grew up in an era where boxing was a pretty big fucking deal. Like for those of us in our, you know, early 40s now, like late 30s, early 40s, we grew up. MMA was just like a weird thing that was sometimes on pay-per-view, but like real fighters were boxers. We grew up with Tyson and with Holyfield and with fucking George Foreman coming back and all of these dudes. And Knockout Kings was like the boxing game for, at that point, current generation consoles. And it was getting shittier and shittier and shittier. And EA went back to the drawing board and said, we're going to do this new thing called Fight Night. And we're going to totally revamp how you throw punches. And it was so intuitive with the analog sticks. And they just created this incredibly fun game. Like the Fight Night series was so great. But then it died out again. I didn't spend a ton of time
with it, but I spent some, and it was fun. I think it died out because it didn't need to be annualized. It just didn't seem like boxing was the kind of thing that needed to be annualized.
But MMA has completely taken over boxing. Like,
that's true.
Can you tell me right now who the current heavyweight champion is?
Is it Logan Paul?
No. Fuck you. How dare you? At very best, I think he would be the middleweight champion if he was, but he's not. Like, that's the thing. I don't even fucking know who it is. It might be Tyson Fury. I don't know if Fury has the belt or if he retired. I can't remember which of those two things he did last. But like boxing just isn't a thing anymore. It's MMA. And EA has the UFC games, but they're not, I've played a couple of them. They're not all that fun. Fucking Knockout Kings or Fight Night. I mean, what a fucking breath of fresh air that was.
Yeah, I remember when that happened. That was a good time. I think the second one.
Sorry, and not Ballers. I was thinking of Street.
Yeah, Ballers was like that was Midway, wasn't it?
That was Midway, but that was super fun too.
Midway, yeah, it was Midway. I remember hearing good things about that one. Yeah. Oh crap! Did I just close that window? I did. Rats. I had the Xbox stuff all queued up, and then I pressed the button, and everything exploded. There's fire everywhere.
This is why I don't take you nice places.
Xbox also got Fight Night 2004 and NBA Ballers, but also had an ESPN Major League Baseball. That was not Alias good. Game, Hitman Contracts, Manhunt. The original Manhunt dropped on Xbox. That was
that game is fucking terrible. Yeah. But I enjoy the absurdity of it. And it is
never my bag
WBC. The current WBC heavyweight champion is Tyson Fury. Alexander Usyk is the WBO, IBF, and WBA heavyweight champion because boxing is a shit show. Anyway.
Yikes.
I was at least partially right. Yeah.
All right, so that's tolerable for Xbox, not bad. This is similar to PS2. Over on the GameCube, we got WarioWare Inc. Mega Micro Games. This is Legend of Zelda Collection. What is this? Can't tell what this is. It's not loading up anything. I don't think that was the Wind Waker bonus disc that had the older games in it. This is some sort of... Yeah, this is a different animal. I don't know what this was. It was a Club Nintendo thing in Japan. So,
okay.
Not anything we have to worry about. But I closed that damn window again. Curse my mouse skills. Where was I? I was talking about April? Fucking July now. How did I miss April? Come on, brain. You can do this. WarioWare Mega Micro Games. Mega Party Games. This was a weird one because it was the Game Boy Advance game ported to the GameCube with like an overlay where you could walk around as characters and do weird shit. It's a very strange game. Serious
It's pretty good though.
Next Encounter. Oh, it's great. It's still fucking WarioWare. It's fucking great.
Yeah,
it's just really weird.
It's good.
It's a strange thing to do. There's a Serious Sam Next Encounter and Space Raiders, which is terrible. And Shrek 2. That's it. I mean, look,
Again,
WarioWare is great, but yeah, we're in April.
Shrek 2 is
Shrek 2, Game of the Year, no question.
There's not enough words. There's not enough time left in tonight's episode to really dive into Shrek 2.
Really get to the meat of it. How about the Game Boy Advance? We've got Road Trip, Serious Sam Advance, Shining Soul 2. Bunch of people texting me because I missed the second Gambler thing that I was keeping track of all night. Just totally dropped the ball because I suck. Street Jam Basketball. And Shrek 2. There it is. Yeah, okay.
The
Advance.
Serious Sam Advance was pretty impressive.
Was it?
Yeah,
I'll take your word
I think
for
so.
it.
And the Shining Force is always a good time.
Let's see, 2003. Was there anything released on April 2004? Here we are, April 2004 for the Nokia N-Gage. Had Marcel Desailly Pro Soccer. That was it.
Yep.
10 out of 10. All right, 2004, way better than 2014. Not amazing,
yes.
but it's April. It's April. We understand what we're getting into here, but still, huge improvement.
Much better.
However, 1994 is going to be a discussion.
Okay.
In arcades,
take my pants off. Hold on.
I don't know if there was anything worth it in arcades. I don't have an easy way of checking that, so we're just going to skip. Let's go to NES. Still kicking in 1994. NES, North America. Was there anything in April? 90. All right, here's 94. And nothing in April. We go straight from March to June. So no dice there. Sorry, NES. Super NES. This is where the business happens. North America, Super NES, April 94. 2, 3. Come on. You can do it. Holy crap, there's a lot of games. 93. April 94. Balls 3D. Yes, please.
Oh,
Sign me the fuck up for Balls. Capcom's Eye of the Beholder, Fatal Fury 2, Joe and Mac 2, Lost in the Tropics, King of Dragons, and Knights of the Round, both released. Fantastic. We've got Liberty or Death, whatever. Skipping around, SOS. I have this game and I have yet to try this out. I got it in one of those big collections. It's from Vic Tokai. It's like this surviving on a ship game that's very interesting. Let's see. Ultima 6, The False Prophet was ported to Super Nintendo. Wizardry 5. Mega Man Soccer. Such a weird freaking game. I'm going to skip that for now. I'm going to save that for last. We got Bebe's Kids. Remember Bebe's Kids? That had a game.
Oh, I fucking love that movie. I don't know if the game's any good. I do love that movie, though.
But April 18th, 1994 was the U.S. release date for Super Metroid.
Shit. Awful game.
Throw it in the fire.
Yeah, it's garbage.
Honest to God, one of the best games I've ever played in my life. I can't say enough good things about it. That's, I mean, look, it was already a pretty decent month. Like, yeah, you got your weird shit like Liberty or Death and SOS. You've got Knights of the Round and King of the Dragons. Joe and Mac 2 is pretty solid.
Fucking good.
Eye of the Beholder is pretty solid.
I have never liked the Joe and Mac games.
I'm not a huge fan, but I understand. I understand that they're solid. I understand the draw is where I would say. And then you have the weird shit of Mega Man Soccer. Like, what the hell is that? But yeah, Super Metroid. Whew, that's a tough one to beat.
Yeah, it's a pretty fucking good game.
So I guess the question is,
good.
What was the competition up to in April of 1994? What was the Sega Genesis doing to compete with the likes of Super Metroid? And it looks like it was also a fairly banner month on the Genesis as well. We've got Barkley Shut Up and Jam, Double Dribble the Playoff Edition, NBA Action 94, Pete Sampras Tennis, RBI Baseball 94, Streets of Rage 3.
Oh, so
probably my
good.
least favorite of the Streets of Rage games, but still pretty damn good.
Still great, yeah.
Subterranea was a pretty cool game. Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle, ESPN Baseball Tonight. Oh no, actually we're out of April already. Rocky and Bullwinkle. Oh shit, April was actually a pretty small month on Genesis.
Yeah.
Streets of Rage 3 is a pretty
really
big deal. It's not a this is not a bad month.
As far as as far as like console exclusive, this is why you have a Genesis for shit like Streets of Rage. Yeah, Streets of Rage 3 is
yeah.
I think I'd probably agree with you. I might put the first one below 3. I don't know. I really haven't played them back to back like that.
The soundtrack bothers me in 3, and I have
enough.
a huge nostalgic connection to the first Streets of Rage, and I have no nostalgic connection to 3. So,
I mean, 2 I think is still the pinnacle of like that era. 4 is
I can get behind that.
Fucking incredible, but that's not fair.
No, yeah.
But 3, like, again, if you had a Genesis, like, and you were looking for something to hang your hat on, you could do worse than Streets of Rage 3.
I concur. Great month for the Genesis. Not quite Super Metroid.
It's not Super Metroid, though. It's not Super Metroid like that.
No, but nothing is.
That is just a pretty good game.
Sega CD. Oh, Mortal Kombat. The first Mortal Kombat came out on Sega CD in April 94. That was about it. There's the Sega CD for you. Every now and then, a game comes out for it. Let's see. Did anything drop on Turbo CD in April 94? We've got, Super Air Zonk came out on...
Super Air Zonk's so fun.
Yeah, that's a pretty solid game right there. That's it for Turbo until August. Goodness gracious.
Yeah. That is one of the franchises that I am consistently surprised has never made a comeback anywhere.
Yeah, I'm surprised nobody's really trying to do that.
They were really solid games, really charming. Eventually they kind of made their way everywhere. And I think just kind of got lost, like, in the shuffle of, here are all the platformers, and what's this? Oh, this is the one from that other system,
Let's see. Over on the
fucking cool though.
The Neo Geo had Windjammers and Karnov's Revenge.
Windjammers is so fun.
I have not played that, and I really should. Karnov's Revenge, though. It's a fighting game? It's a fighting game, huh?
Yeah. I have next to no memories of Karnov's Revenge.
Yeah, that's not a thing that really jumps out of my brain.
But it is not, like, in the pantheon of Neo Geo fighters, of which there are some truly incredible fucking fighting games. Karnov's Revenge does not jump up on the list for me. I don't know that it's bad. Like, I can't go so far as to say that it's not a good game, but Mark of the Wolves, it is not.
Over on the 3DO, it looks like there was a game. We had Twisted the Game Show. I remember this existing. I don't know anything about it. It's a 3DO exclusive. I've seen it. I might even own it. Who knows?
3DO is and will forever remain just a gigantic blind spot in my video game knowledge.
It is a platform.
I am okay with that. That
It is
is
a platform
that
the
is not
games were
shit I
released
need to
on.
know. Yep.
I am fascinated by the system, but really I can't recommend anything for it. How about the Game Boy? The Game Boy still kicking. In 1994, April 94, we've got Lamborghini American Challenge, Sports Illustrated for Kids, Super Battle Tank, War in the Gulf, and that's it. 3 Game Boy games. Nice.
Makes me sad. Sports
Yeah.
Illustrated is no longer being published, I think.
Oh,
Like, as of a month or two ago, I think the company that owned them, like, sold it off or ceased production. And it's just, I was just such, like, a fabric of our youth, you know? And just,
right.
I don't know.
Magazines were so cool. You'd get a
They
thing in
were,
the
but
mail,
just,
and then
like,
you'd have a physical thing
that
to read
brand.
and then burn. Yeah, Sports
that
Illustrated.
swimsuit issue. Let's not bury the lead here, Chris.
It's an important part of a lot of young men's lives.
It really fucking was. It really was. And a lot of young ladies, you fucking sexist pig.
Can only speak from personal experience. Last but not least, over on the Game Gear, we had Choplifter 3 and Pinball Dreams. So, okay.
I like the
1994.
Choplifter games.
The big ones, Genesis
Yeah.
and Super NES, both had solid, really, really solid months.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 1994 was good stuff. Let's
94,
close these
definitely
out.
the clear winner at this point.
Yeah, I don't know that anything in
Like,
1980
I like Fight Night.
Is 1984 going to beat Super Metroid? I don't think so, but
I doubt it.
let's see. In 1984, what was going on in 1984? Nothing interesting in arcades, as far as I can tell. April 1984 for the Atari 2600. Let's go. 1984. Let's see. January, March, spring. Wow. Okay. Oh, there's April. Okay, April. Crystal Castles
March,
and
spring.
Taz. And I guess I'll just throw these other spring ones in. Robin Hood, Sir Lancelot, and Tomark the Barbarian.
Oh, I love Tomark. Big Tomark guy.
I never played Taz. The Ferg's episode on Taz was pretty interesting. Sounds like an interesting game.
Yeah.
And I never got into Crystal Castles. And I don't know any of the rest of these games on 2600.
No, well, I mean, obviously, except Tomark, which is the greatest game ever made.
Yeah, everybody knows Tomark the Barbarian.
We don't even have to talk about it. That's
Man
how
needs no introduction.
huge it is. No,
Huge.
no introduction,
Unavoidable
no
part of our
summary.
history.
I don't know that I've ever even fucking seen that game.
Yeah, I got nothing at all. Speaking of nothing at all, there were no Intellivision releases. How about Atari
Thank
5200?
God.
Did the 5200? 1984, February, March, skips right over April and goes into May. So we got nothing on Atari 5200. What about the Coleco version? How about the old
It's
Coleco
not looking
version?
good.
Nope, not looking good. 1984, February, March, April, Galaxian and Jungle Hunt. Okay. I didn't know Jungle Hunt
That's
was
fucking
on,
solid.
That is solid. I didn't know Jungle Hunt was on ColecoVision.
Yeah,
I bet
fucking
it's
love
pretty good.
ColecoVision. It
I
is.
know you do.
That's a solid month, man. Galaxion, Jungle Hunt, like, I mean, just fucking old school arcade nonsense. Love it.
Nothing on
Jungle Hunt
Vectrex.
rules.
And I'm going to say nothing worthwhile in Game & Watch either that I can see immediately. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. 1984.
That's it.
Whole lot of nothing.
Whole lot of nothing. Wow. This was a brutal one. 1994.
Yeah,
far and away the winner.
Yeah.
But 2014, 2004, 1984, not great months on any of those.
The drizzling shits, as they say.
As they say. And with those drizzling shits, we're going to call it quits. going to call it a night. I'm going to get myself into bed and get up super early to buy a record, or at least try to. And
you might as well just drive there now. Just fucking sleep in the parking lot.
Sleep in the parking lot. If I could sleep comfortably in my car, I would. That is our show. Join us next time for the SAG Cartoon Express. Choo choo, motherfuckers. The two of us and Dean will be watching this.
Wow, that was very aggressive.
It is. I am feeling very aggressive right now, Dan. We're going to be watching and discussing Sonic the Hedgehog Season 2, Episode 3, No Brainer. Jaleel White returning again for 2 months. Will we have a third Sonic episode in a row?
We better fucking not. You better respin that shit. Nobody will know.
If we do, I'm going to respin it. Yeah. Not doing Sonic 3 months in a row. There's so many other shows to get to. But yes, we're on most social media platforms. And if you want to get in touch with us, we aren't very difficult to find. All it takes is a quick look at our show notes, and you'll see links to our social media accounts, as well as all manner of other fun stuff, like a link to our namesake, StoneAgeGamer.com, and more useful links than you can shake a joystick at. If you'd like to get early access to this show's episodes, as well as a bevy of other shows on the Geekade Podcast Network, check out our Patreon, also linked to in the show notes. It helps keep this show running week after week, and all our patrons are loved and appreciated. This show's theme song, Squared Roots, was written by Banjo Guy Ollie. You can learn all about his wonderful music and more by following the link to his YouTube channel, also in the show notes. And finally, as always, we'd like to thank our intrepid editor, Evan, for making the show listenable for all you folks. We'd like to thank all you folks for listening in the first place. That's it, everybody. On behalf of Dan and myself, keep playing games.